So it's been a while since I've touched this car, and finally got some new pieces for it, so I thought I would trial fit these pieces before I get them finalised and ready to put on the car. So see this big box here? I have a Z-Tune front bumper bar. Now I've always been a big fan of the Z-Tune kit. I think it makes the car look extremely aggressive, but the parts have been ridiculously expensive and going up in value, so it's been quite difficult to actually, how would I say, justify the cost. But I decided to take the plunge and get the Z-Tune front. We'll see how that goes, and really wanted the fenders as well, but it's an additional cost and it's a lot of money for essentially fiberglass pieces, so we'll see how we go. The main thing is that the bumpers changed. That really changes the front end of the car. So first things first, I'm going to take off these front wheels as per my other video, take off the inner liners and take off the front bumper bar. So this is what you get in this big box, essentially a lot of air. But it's all nicely packaged. Yeah, there's the certificate of authenticity, the serial number, got some screws and other bits and pieces, and I decided to, at the same time, get clear side, smoked side mirrors and the front bumper indicators as well. Indicators, side indicators and front indicators smoked to match the white car. I was going to go clear, but I don't think they'd stand out enough, and I think having the smoked ones are got a bit of a highlight here. Go for a bit of a black and white theme or greyish theme, just like how my rims are gunmetal grey to match the white. It's always fun unboxing these pieces. Yeah, it's like Christmas. So here's the bumper out of its box. Now I haven't taken the wrapping off yet because I'm a bit fussy like that. It's almost too pretty to take out of the package. But anyway, now you can see what the real differences are between OEM and the Z-Tune. It's a little bit more angular, lower end vents here compared to standard. As you can see, the little mid lip and the main lip is now one piece with the Z-Tune. I know the S-Tunes still use the OEM mid lip, but it's just got a little bit of a side vent. I wanted to go with the Z-Tune because I think it looks more aggressive with this angular lower. The center where the badge goes is a bit larger, and it hasn't got those two little humps, which I find give it a bit of a cleaner look. Not sure whether the hole for the intercooler is larger. It looks maybe a tad larger, but we'll see when we get it on the car. One thing I've noticed is at the top here, there's this fiberglass, whereas the OEM one has this black support, so maybe I have to take that off and join it. Not sure yet, we'll see. Haven't read the instructions yet, and I definitely should do that. But yeah, that's the difference. It's a little bit more sharp looking as well, a little bit more angular. So as mentioned before, to replace the amber sort of dull lenses, because they're old, they're already on the car, decided to get these most smoked ones. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can actually see, but there's writing on the inside that says Nissan Motorsport International. In this bottom left corner, there's Nismo written on it. So that's why they cost so much. Just look at that. But look, these lenses are definitely lost their shine, a little bit dull, they're old, so it's a good time to change them. At the same time, I really should change the lenses on my headlight, but next time. Still trying to understand why pieces of plastic cost that much, but anyway, we'll get to that. So just like my other video, removing the front bar, relatively simple. I take this black underlip off, take the headlights out, take the liners out of the inside, and at the same time all the little clips that hold the liners in. I've got new ones that I found off eBay to pull all of that back. Now, I know some people are really adamant that they have to be Nissan parts. I, on the contrary, reckon I don't need to pay that much for black clips, so I've just got some eBay clips. I think it's like $10 for a pack of it. So that'll replace all the little black clips that are old. The wheel arches here, freshen it all up. One thing that I wanted to show was this mark on the inner liner. So this is on the right hand side of the car, on the driver's side of the car, and that's my wheels scrubbing. Now behind this are the blow-off valves, and there are two brackets that come down to hold the adapter that holds both blow-off valves on. So as you can see, it's rubbing there. Now I run 19 by 10.5 plus 12 wheels with 265 35 rubber on them. So it's a pretty wide rim with, I would say, a stretched tire on it, and I get a little bit of scrubbing. Now when I do full opposite lock, full lock, they scrub. You can actually hear it. It's quite loud. On the other side, I don't have any scrub marks at all. Only on this side. My car is not exactly very low, but one thing I reckon I can do is I can bend the brackets a little bit forward so that there's not this hard point here where it scrubs, and maybe if I can get some clearance, it will stop rubbing. The other thing I've also noticed is the tie rods, the bushes, pretty worn out. Let's see if I can show it. Oh, it's hard to see, but you can see a little bit of fraying there. They look a lot worse from under the car, but as you can see, nothing obvious. It is an old car, so this will be expected. I would believe a lot of bushes on this car need to be replaced. So I thought I'd show what my headlights look like. And as you can see, there's a lot of fine cracks on the inside of the lens. Now I've buffed the outside of it, but the inside of the lens is horrible, and they're yellow, so they look yellow from the outside. Not so bad when you're standing far, but as they say, far from good. So got to change them. Also, something I need to adjust the front bumper bar, because when I took the brackets off to give them a coat of paint, when it all went back together, the bumper bar sits a little bit low. So I think I can back off those bolts and just try and push all this support up. Let's see whether that fixes it. As you can see from here, here's the other bolt that the wheel is rubbing on, so I reckon back off a couple of these silicone joiners, bend the assembly up, and hopefully I can get rid of the scrub. Alright, so got the front bumper bar off. Let's see if we can get on the car. Alright, so I know there's Nismo tax on all of these parts, their little symbol on it, but I must say the finish on this bumper bar is exquisite. There's nothing worse than handing over some cash and not getting a part that you were sort of hoping for. It's quite quite disappointing. Now this bumper bar was quite expensive, but it does not disappoint. The finish on it is immaculate. Now I've seen some pretty crappy fiberglass bumper bars, but this one is V-Mac. Almost just needs a very light sand and paint. Away we go. You can see that's what the differences are. Side vent there. So it looks like what I need to do is take this top support off to bolt onto this bar before it'll go on. So we'll do a trial fit, make sure she all fits, and go from there. One other thing that I add, so there are copies of Venturing kits out there, and I did consider it, considering how much this front bumper bar cost. But you know, this car being what it is and what it's worth, and you know, being almost a unicorn, I thought I would just go with what the best is, and that's original. So hence why I've done that. Now, you know, I would suspect that if you get a copy bar, yeah, some will probably be pretty good, but at the end of the day, it's those finer details that make or break these parts. You know, I'd be really worried about getting fenders, imitation fenders, because you know it needs to line up with the bonnet, the headlight, the front bumper bar, the wheel arch liners inside. You know, there's a lot of lining up to do, and if you get the finish wrong, you know, it's a front fender, you'll see it a mile away. So, when in doubt, get genuine. So these are the types of clips that are holding this top support in the standard bar. So I found that using a Phillips head screwdriver just to remove that somehow wasn't coming out, whereas if I reached under and grabbed this bit of it and squeezed while unscrewing, then the bolt comes out. So just a little tip there. So I'll remove all of these and install them on a new bumper bar. So once you take all the little screws out, the support breaks up into two pieces. Now this piece clips on top, like so, and the other one goes in from under, and you put the clips in, and then it's ready to rock and roll. So the OEM support is in, and as you can see, the fitment is perfect. Perfect. Now, the actual instruction manuals did come with screws and a bit of foam tape and stuff. Got the warranty card over there, genuine item, but I won't be using them right now because I'm just trial fitting the bar. Alright, so I have just fitted the bumper bar. Yeah, you can tell that the white is a little bit different because it's not painted, but it's pretty close. Wish I didn't need to take it back off, but fitment is perfect. Like, even the gaps between the headlights are better than what my OEM bumper was like for some weird reason. Look at the fitment, look at the gap. It's beautiful. All bolts lined up, no problems. There's even more space for my intercooler now. As you can see, there's those four little light lines in them. That was from the OEM bumper rubbing against the fins, because this intercooler is 100mm thick, so 4-inch thick. It is thicker than standard. As you can also see, the hole for the intercooler is also bigger, because my old bumper used to come up to these lines here, so probably an extra inch worth of space there, and there is a gap between the intercooler and the bumper. So fitment wise, for my HKS drag intercooler, it actually works out even better. You can see this gap is a lot larger as well, no more little humps. Sort of protrudes out a little bit more. It's got these bits here sort of protrude out. Tried to leave fingerprints off it, but it being a white piece and working on cars, it's bound to get dirty, but doesn't matter because it's going to get sprayed. But very exciting. So next thing is get it sprayed and then get it on the car.